Yeah, boo, it is your boy again. Third video of the day. This one is what it looks like when I absolutely gap a laner, and what it looks like when I do it with Yorick. It's gonna be really fast paced here. It's gonna be really interesting. You're gonna love it. So, same opening that we do all the time. Immediately, walk to the jungle, block the invade. Now, in this situation, because of what we see here, I block the invade in such a way that the Yasuo does not seem to care or want to notice that, hey, maybe you should fucking do something. Instead, they wait until I am this much level of health, where I pop my ghost to immediately get away from Kha'Zix, so he does not get a free kill on me. In this situation, Yasuo finally decides to walk over, and now they are in a position where they now have the ability to fuck with his blue. The team finally rotates over now that they decided to give a shit, and I now have to play in such a way that I have to play with the amount of focus that I do. We start out this lane, not having our ghost when we want it, versus a Garen who thinks and believes that he is going to kill our team. Fortunately, it is not a flash ignite top Garen, which would be a lot scarier, but it is still a man who is positioned and waiting for the ability to get an in. We start Q here, so I can immediately start getting my minions going, but he decides he wants to play an aggressive track anyways. Since that's how he wants to play it, I simply just allow him to push it in, because we're just going to play the waiting game. I don't need to trade for my health. I know that he's going to just be aggressive, because all of these players in this fucking elo do this. There is nothing that I lose from waiting at a distance, and instead making snipe out plays to farm as much gold as I possibly can, whenever possible. So, waiting for the minions to be at a certain level of health, so that as they're getting autoed down from my ranged creeps, toss out the Q, get the gold. It's going to cost me 50 gold every time, but I'll take 50 mana, or excuse me, it's going to cost me 50 mana every time, but I'm going to take the 50 mana for the money every time, because as much gold as I can be able to CS is what's possible. The downside to this, and is the downside to having such a long fucking time in the queue, is that that means I do not get to have the ability to do anything. It's gonna require me to have this shit walk into the tower just so. Get that on him. I'm able to get the CS and that. Get the minions on his face. Now he has to deal with the ghouls stacking up my AD and giving me resets on Presence of Mind, which is going to help with my mana sustain. Start stacking the next set. Unfortunately, autoed too quickly, and I lost that. He starts trying to do some cheese shit, which is what most Garens do, which is where he's trying to force it into the tower faster, because he thinks if he keeps me out of the tower, I won't be able to have shit. But now you'll see the thing we always love to see. Get that next stack, walk up, get that fourth minion out. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, because he's autoing them down. Keep trying to get my gold as best as I possibly can. Get the gold on that. Get the gold on this one. And unfortunately, I cannot help him because I am stuck farming my wave. Nunu has to somehow be very, 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 very silly to believe that I'm going to be able to walk over there. And this man is pinging me saying, oh man, with luck. Because, unfortunately, it is what they do. Fortunately, we're able to get both the wall and the minions on him. He spins to try and get them down, but it doesn't matter because I've already gotten his passive. Put some damage into him. Now we have him on the back foot. Unfortunately, he didn't get the stack of that grave. He pops his potion to start healing because he knows he's going to get pushed out and he doesn't want to lose it. Get another one on top of him. Get the Presence of Mind stack. Keep pushing him in. From here, it becomes a bit of a back and forth. He tries to come into the wave. I don't let him. Wall his ass. Auto attack his head. Keep him respectable and healthy. Now it's 5-5. This is where it starts to get very, 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 very hard for him. Because I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing until I am sure that I'm alone up here. Continuing to get the minions down. Continuing to stack for the next E. He's positioning in such a way that he has now fucked himself. And that is first blood. Immediately summon the maiden and start pushing it in, because he has teleport, and I don't want him to teleport in these minions. He chooses to teleport on the minion, but I wall the man off, and we just walk away. I ain't got shit to be worried about. Get my back in. He immediately wants to try and push the shit in with his E. I get my buy, which in this situation is going to be boots, phage, and a longsword. Immediately come back in. Have to use the teleport in this situation. And yet, look at the goal. Despite the fact that he had me gapped the way he did, I am now ahead of him until he collects that wave. That is the power of being patient. Players do not respect the Yorick very, very much. And so, now that I have my maiden out, I come down here, I take the Gromp. Because I don't have anything to do here. Because now, it's time to get me some minions. Slowly getting my minions stacked on the wave. Garen starts trying to play a distance game. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. That's cool. That's fine. I'll do this. Walk it down. Walk back in such a way. Throw the dust at his head. This is a bit of a cheeky play here that I choose to do. I use the long range of the Maiden to auto the Garen under the tower there. Now I have his shit going in. I get silenced there on the Garen Q, because unfortunately, I have my jungler bottom side. Kha'Zix is waiting here, hoping for a play. I take him out, and then I almost take the Kha'Zix out. Unfortunately, I still die here to the Kha'Zix jump because he gets the W off, because this is what happens when you have a jungler playing the way that he does. My jungler decides he wants to go to gap the camps, which is a good play to make now that he knows the positioning of him, but what would have been better would have been him to assist with the 2v2. This jungler is not very good. I had him in another one of my games, and it was a game that, if I choose to put it on here, it's going to be a very, very, very sad and rage-inducing loss. The kind of losses that you don't look to have very, very often. Now, because I'm behind in this situation now, I need to get my shit back. So, I take the blue, and I go topside. Because I'm going to need it in order to be able to deal with him. I need mana. Getting mana for my abilities requires me to have some fuel. And so, I use this as go juice. This man chooses to walk in the lane, and he's like, "Oh, why didn't you go?" And I'm telling him, "Bro, just take the Rift Herald." Now they have a 2v2 situation between the jungle and the mid, while I'm up here dealing with Garen. He gets walked back in by the Annie and the Kha'Zix, while I'm sitting here at the tower. He gets killed in his jungle by the Kha'Zix, because he's not a very good laner. And I'm autoing the shit out of Garen. Kha'Zix is going through, taking everything that he can, before immediately going back to his own top side. He could have taken the Herald there, but unfortunately a lot of bad players do not realize how much pressure they can have if they just start doing it. And because he did not do it, he starts doing it. Unfortunately, he shows on vision. I'm telling him, "Hey, I'll be right there." I'm shadowing him and keeping him away for you. I summon my maiden. Here back comes Kha'Zix again, try and fuck with me. Walk it all the way in. Stay out the way. They're able to get the Herald, and I'm able to absorb the pressure. Now I'm playing under my tower. Garen comes in here and is able to get the ultimate, because unfortunately they chose to continue pushing instead of trying to get the push that they could. Garen gets the back free for that and starts to build his cringe item, the Stridebreaker. Meanwhile, I come back in. I have my item for which I needed to buy, but I could not buy because I didn't get any assistance, which here is Gauge, because I need to survive that Garen burst. If he's ever given a situation where I'm on low health and he wants to push in, he will go for it every single time. Now in this situation, Garen has decided to go to the bottom side of the map, so now I'm up here with the Vi. I'm pushing back the waves. She's trying to keep me gated here. She's learning the reason why you don't try to challenge me, and I'm starting to ward things out. Now, because I've been telling them to move, Senna is here, and unfortunately, Senna is trying to chase off the Vi before I'm here with the Garen. Try to get the E on him. He throws out the bomb instead of throwing out his satchel to destroy the tower. So now this play gets stalled out for a bit. Tower finally goes down. Kill Kha'Zix. Then, with my speed up, moving through, turn around. The pump fake on my minion killed the Annie. Now we got a double jump on him. Beat Garen's face in, get the triple. Picking up the triple double. Now I pushed on this tower. Now in this situation, Ziggs chose to try and use his satchel charge to try and get out of the tower because he wasn't paying attention, instead of using it to execute the tower so he didn't die. But hey, you know, just player things. Come over to the tower. Go into his jungle. Start taking his camps. Jump in on the Kazakhs. Pick up the kills. Walk it back out. Come back over. Start taking jungle camps. Garen comes to try and fuck with me because he wants to try and take out my maiden. He dies for it. I don't know what possessed him to think that that was a situation where he would have been able to take out the maiden, but I had a team, and he did not. Start taking the top side again. The main reason why I'm taking out the top side isn't for toxicity, by the way. It is because I'm absorbing the gold. We want to have as much gold as we possibly can on us, and with this gold, we pick up our Triforce. Pick up a Ruby Crystal for our safe travels. And now, I'm calling them to do the Rift Herald because I want this secured. I don't want it to be sloppy. They start pinging that they don't have any vision here. Enemies are playing bottom side, but we're playing top side. I am now on the top side. My team starts to rotate in for the dragon positioning. They start fighting for vision. Meanwhile, hey, I don't have anyone who's contesting me. Looks like I'm taking your towers. They continue fighting. So far, they're 1 for 1. Actually, 1 for 2. I start taking this in here, and Caitlyn comes over and she's like, hey baby, you can't do that. And I'm like, yes I can. I block this off, I pop the Annie, I run out the Garen. He tries to use the Stride Trigger to pump fake me. I instead get away because of Ziggs teleport. Zig keeps him back. He tries to flash in, but he gets run down by Kazakhs. Let the minions pick off that dude. Somehow, that transfers into a double kill, probably because of the maiden's damage. Get the triple double. And I start healing myself off his camps. It's very bizarre sometimes, the kills that you can get as Yorick. We got 2 of the situations where minions just decided to kill somebody for us. Walking through vision. I did not know that it was warded, but it doesn't matter. I want them to see what I'm doing, as I want to bring pressure here. There is currently 2 people trying to go for a 2v2 bottom side. I get the suicide inhibitor, and now they're able to win that matchup in the bottom side because of Senna getting on top of their head. Nunu unfortunately gets ran down by Willem, but he lives. Meanwhile, Ziggs is pushing in the mid lane. I bring 3 people to the top side, thus removing the danger that they could get killed from someone roaming on them across the map. Turn that Ruby Crystal into a dead man's plate so we can start speeding out of these situations, because that situation top tells me, I kind of want to be faster than all of you. Now we're walking around with health and armor, which is what I really need to have to deal with Garen. He's not quite at his next item, which I believe is the life steal penetration item. We're positioning for the objective, and I'm waiting for my minions, and also waiting for my maiden. With the maiden and the minions, you will start shredding very, very fast. Because of this, it is possible for Yorick to 2-man Baron. He just needs to have the jungler with him. That or an AP threat that's able to do a lot of burst. Start pathing through the jungle again, taking everything that's not tied down. We're looking for plays here. I tried to look for Annie, but I couldn't reach her with the dust. Keep pushing things in. Keep taking the path that goes through our vision and not on theirs. End up coming around here to take these wolves so I can have more minions for a full power jump. I'm actually waiting here over this wall in such a position where I'm staring at them. I did not expect them to walk into us there, but I did not expect Garen to flash at us and basically give me free reign to kill his Vi, which we do. I lose the maiden for the play, But we're able to trap him and then take off the Garen for the next play. And now we can freely progress the tower. Destroy the next inhibitor. Somewhere in that, and he died as well. And now we just slowly push in, kill the jungler, and we end the game. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. In this matchup, the most dangerous thing to deal with was actually dealing with an AP threat from Annie. She is unfortunately the only AP damage that they actually fucking have. She's the only person who's going to put me in a position where I die. Because early game, yes, I can die to Garen, but anyone can die to Garen just as long as he's able to do his damage. Unfortunately, the way that it goes here, the first few deaths are going to... Well, the first death is a death from not having any support from the jungle whatsoever. And this is just the reality of it. This man ended the game 0-5-8. He assisted 8 kills, but had no plays for kills himself. Even though Willemth in this situation actually can do some good dueling potential should he max out his Q and put just enough AP damage on his kit to be able to be survivable. It's not necessary for him to focus doing it, but it is important for him to put a little bit of power there. A little bit of AP power there goes a long way, because in all the other situations, Ziggs is the only sustain that we have there. He decided he wanted to go for a stacking tier build. I personally don't like this build, but for what he was building, he had all of the correct items, including the Oblivion Orb. The Senna here is actually the real MVP, and the reason why is because as our backline, despite the fact that she's also technically our bottom line, her Kraken and her Rapid Fire Cannon makes it so that even though she's still a support character, she's able to supply the necessary ranged threat for the team to back us up. She's much more of an artillery cannon than she is just a basic turret that needs to be defended. And the fact that she's able to assist with a lot of the plays she did by threatening this extreme long range of hers is what makes her really, really, really good here, no matter what situation and engage we get caught into. Really good for me, because her coming to the top side is what enabled that rundown play for the tower. And that is the game. And as ends the VOD, so ends my time here. I will see you all again. Please continue to check out the streams, go watch videos, and be with everything that is Carl. All the links in the description down below. Just all the things, do all the comment regular shit that you do, and do the voodoo that you do, that we do. Boo boo. I will see you all again. I will see y'all probably in the next 10 minutes. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. Good night, everybody.